You're listening to the Build a Better Business series from the More Than More podcast. We're here to share the tools and strategies you need to journey from survival to significance with your leads, team, systems, and money. Let's get started. All right. Hi, good morning. I'm Angela here, and I am with
Dylan.
It's February, guys. We just got wrapped up with our activities challenge, and we're getting ready to move on to our sales contest, something a little different that we have never really done before. And I'm going to be honest, we've been maybe told in the past that our sales contests aren't very sales oriented. So I'm kind of excited about this one having a little bit more of a sales oriented aspect to it. I mean,
our sales contests are awesome, and you know
they are awesome.
You know who you are out there that thinks they need to be more salesy, but it's intentional. We focus on the activities. We always do, and we should. Because that's what produces the long-term results. But yes, I am excited for what you guys have got put together this year, so we can focus on activities, but we can also get a little intentional on results.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, we're focused on listings. This is a Get Listings contest. I'm super excited about it. Everything that we're doing in the activities is leading to future opportunities for more signs in the ground. So really with that thought in mind, let's just start there. Why at this moment do we kind of look at the spring of 2026 and go, you know what, let's focus really on listings? What was the thought process behind that?
I'm thinking back to our conversations about this. I mean, part of it was just that every year for the last few years, excuse me, you can tell I've been coughing all night.
It's okay.
Part of what we've done every year is focus on the one thing that seems logical, which is get in front of people.
Yep.
Have conversations, because that's what you can do in January. But I think we were just thinking through where are we at this moment in time.
Yep.
And where we're at is a very interesting inflection point in our market. And the story, I think, starts with we've been in a 7-8 year depression
inventory.
Of listing inventory.
Yeah.
It's been unprecedented. And really, for the longest time, in fact, for half of our agents, they've only ever known a marketplace where inventory didn't sit on the shelves.
Yeah.
And that's changing. So we're now back to pre-COVID listing inventory levels. It's still slightly lower than what we used to see back in the 2010 range.
Yep.
But inventory is starting to stack. One. Number two, which I think represents a unique opportunity. And so let me start there.
Yeah.
I was a listing agent.
Yes.
I built my business around having listing inventory and leveraging listing inventory as a vehicle or a machine. And it's a machine that puts signs in the ground, that markets around the listings, that generates phone calls, and that creates sales.
Creates more opportunity, yeah.
And that vehicle of real estate has been kind of sorely missing for a while, because anything that came on was immediate, left the marketplace. Yep. So that business model, I think, is rearing its head again.
Yep.
And for anyone that wants to take advantage of the opportunity to leverage listings, that's available to you again.
Yeah.
The second thing, I think, is just the fact that there's a significant pent-up demand, not on the buy side, but frankly on the list side.
Right. People that were holding back from thinking about selling, right?
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
And, the beauty of not every buyer is a seller, but pretty much every seller is a buyer. And sometimes they're actually two buyers.
Yeah.
But the sheer volume of homeowners that have been waiting now for several years to be able to transact and move, because of obvious reasons, we've talked about them all. They're rate locked, and there's not been opportunities for them to buy, and stuff that has been available has been expensive at high rates. There's no question here. There is a beaver dam that's been built, and there's been a pooling of opportunity behind that beaver dam, and it's starting to break. And we knew it would, and it's not breaking in any kind of crazy way where all of a sudden millions of people are listing their homes and inventory is going through the roof. But you today, if you're in real estate and you have a database, you are surrounded by people, whether you know it or not, that do and have wanted to make a move, but there's been forces holding them back. And I think now is a very, very important time to get in front of those people, engage in proactive conversations with them, and be at the front or be upstream.
Upstream of the of the decision.
Getting in the path of business.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I think those are maybe the two principal reasons. that now is a smart time for us to say, hey, it's time to go get focused on listings. I'll say one more thing on this, and that's we've always known that listing agents last.
Yep.
And if you haven't heard that phrase, really what it means is if you want to run a long-term successful real estate business, there's great opportunity on the buy side.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you want to build a system and a business, the high-end opportunity for listing, the sustainable and scalable
Yes, I think
option
sustainable for sure, yeah.
exists on the listing side. You can brand yourself, you can create a machine that just keeps working for you, and you can build it out in a way that a lot of the machine can run for you through other people.
Yes.
On the listing end. And so listing agents last is a precept. It's a philosophy that I think I adhere to as a company. We have always been a little buy-side heavy.
Buy heavy. It's starting to even out a little bit more.
A little more.
Yep.
And I don't resent that. I like our ratios.
Yeah.
I just know that we have pent-up opportunity to go and generate more listings, build better businesses, and take advantage of how this tide is turning in today's market.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with all of that. I mean, it is about positioning yourself. So I'm super excited. These activities, we've kind of broken them into 4 different categories of activities, starting from the top with some kind of mailers, which to me is really more about the numbers game. Like how many things can you get out that create some value, that create some future potential conversations, and then leading into a whole category about expireds, which I'm excited to dig into because that's something new for us. I'm interested to see how people will react to that category. And then I want to spend a little time with you on the database section, of course, because we're all about talking to our people as well. But for those of you who really want the sales part of it, you will get some points on this one for listing consultations, actual consultations and contracts too. So that's really fun. Let's talk. I want to dig into the expireds piece. But for the mailers, we've got really great templates. Go check them out. We've updated them all. Use those, look through those categories. But I want to start in the expireds category mostly here with you. When you said this, I think my face might have done what maybe some of our agents' faces are going to do when they hear that there's an expired category.
No, thank you.
I was like, but I honestly really love where we've landed on this. So I guess what was your thought process when that first came out of your mouth for expireds? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so listings is where we start.
Yeah.
Expireds as a first category because more than ever before, we are in a situation where significant amounts of people who tried to sell last year, who have great properties and frankly aren't necessarily overpriced. They're not upside down on their property. They're not irrational, unrealistic on their needs. They just hit a moment in time where buyers and sellers were at a standoff. And they were on the market all of last summer. Yep. And under sometimes good counsel from their agents, they pulled their properties off the market. They got tired. They just had enough. Yeah. And they did that because they foresaw or were told that next spring is going to be a better time. Mm-hmm. So we had record numbers of properties go off market towards the end of last year. And, sometimes we don't want those. Yeah. We don't want other people's failed listings. But in this environment, I would say most of those are absolutely ripe and prime and ready to go. They just needed a more fertile environment to show up on the marketplace. That environment is the next 2-3 months. Yeah. So I think, the problem with expireds, and maybe you want me to go here or not, but
go for it.
Well, it's very transactional and
it seems like it is,
it's
right?
not our typical bread and butter.
Exactly.
But I do think that there are relational ways to approach this.
Absolutely.
And there's transactional ways to approach it. If you are a prospector and you're willing to pick up the phone right now and chase down those opportunities and make some of those cold calls, I think you're going to win.
Yeah.
I think you pick up the phone and call those folks. Most of them are just intending to relist their property with their other agent, not because they really want to, but because they don't know of any other good alternatives. Right. And so that really is just to get in the path of business, have the conversation and say, hey, could you give me an opportunity just to walk through the property to see if any of the people we have might match it, or to see if I could maybe win your business as you guys come into the spring and decide to get the property back on the market. This is old school scripts. It's not that complicated, and you're going to hear some no's. But if you're willing to make those calls, you can hear some yeses. Yeah. But I also think there's a relational way to go about this. And that's just to seek them out through your database. Mm-hmm. I think people and are already friends with, but are probably not intentionally discussing this with, are one point of contact away from
someone they know. Absolutely.
That was wanting to sell or trying to sell or told them a story about how they're really frustrated.
Yeah.
And so engaging in intentional conversations with your database about who they know that wanted to sell, tried to sell, or failed to sell, but was actually still really wanting to make a move is a prudent relational approach to expireds. They're out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're ripe. They're ready to go. They just need, you just need to get in the path.
Well, and I think too, we're going to go to a whole who do you know who section of our talking to our people, which I think is a brilliant way to go about it. But there is a relational way, even though expired seems more transactional. I feel like by first providing value in a phone call, or by first just establishing a relationship, or, having a conversation with them, there is a more relational approach to a seemingly transactional thing that you have it framed in your head that way, I think. So
no, I think that's who we are. So even the most transactional context, we're going to approach a relational way.
Yes.
The struggle for most of our agents is that initial phone call.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a prospector phone call.
Yeah.
You have to pick up the phone. You have to dial through Red X or something like that.
Yep, there are tools. Yep.
And that just takes a different type of skill set. And then, there's a value first approach to that I think is the more long-term version of trying to solicit an expired. But like anything else, again, that's going to require hearing some no's. I just think that if you're up for it, there's opportunity in the marketplace right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm excited about the third category here, which I think will resonate with our people. In the expired space, we're calling them basically contract renewals, right? So we're also saying, hey, if you are in a relationship with a listing that is currently expiring and you're renewing that, that's another way to take an expired and
we're giving
your contract. So there you go.
We're giving our people points to keep their listings.
Yeah. Why not? And again, I really do think positioning in this particular market is the right place to be. So for keeping yours, way to go.
By hook or by crook, we want your listings.
Yeah.
And if you're smart in this environment as an agent, you're looking at that going, I am going to have a better year if I can come into the spring market with as much listing inventory as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this final category, I do want to spend a little time in this final category of space of activities with your database, because this is really where, yes, like you said, our bread and butter, where we live. We get to connect with our favorite people. We're taking a slight twist on, instead of just saying, go have coffees and lunches, pick up the phone, we have kind of a specific lens with which we'd love for you to have some of these conversations. Dylan already referenced one in the who do you know who may have tried to sell. So these who do you know who conversations, we have a few different dialogues created for you, but what's the seller lens intent of this specific get listings who do you know conversations?
You know people.
Yeah.
Who know people.
Yep.
Who are wanting to sell.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't remember who said this first, but I never forgot it. You get what you ask for.
Yes.
So one of the things the way I like to frame this is, if you send people birthday notes and Thanksgiving recipe cards and all the other stuff that we send people with, hey, I'm never too busy for your referral stickers, that's great. And that's fine. You're building some top of mind awareness and some value creation and some relationality, but you're not asking for anything. And the more specific we get on our requests with people,
yes,
the more we tap into their brain's ability to search through their closet. It's like if I go and say, hey, have you got anything good to wear in your closet? You're like, I don't know, I hate all my clothes. But if I say, hey, do you have any blue shirts that are, that would fit
XYZ,
me? Yes.
Then they're actually cataloging in a different way.
They're cataloging. They're thinking in their brain, do I have that? And they're actually going through their file cabinet. So I think the skill is, what we need to learn to do is leverage changing environments to create organic and natural relational contexts to engage with our database and ask them specific business requests that aren't solicitative and aren't annoying, but demonstrate that we are hustling, we are doing our work for our clients, and we're scouring the people we know for opportunities in the marketplace. And so, hey, Mike, Dylan here. Did I catch you at a good time? I just need 3 minutes. Is you free? Yeah. Hey, This is a business call. First of all, real quick, how's Sally? How's the kids? How's that knee doing? You guys good? Great. Hey, so listen, here's the reason I'm calling. I'm calling because there's a unique thing happening in the marketplace right now as we come into the spring. And so then pick your who do you know who. Who do you know who one would be? One of the things that we've seen right now is there's a lot of people that have been wanting to sell and buy for the last 2-3 years who have just felt stuck because their rate is so darn low and everything out there feels so darn expensive, but they're getting to the point where it's like, I don't have a choice. And so one of the things I'm doing is just reaching out to the people I know and checking in to know if they know anyone that's probably fits in that category that's going to be wanting to transact this spring that might not know that a lot of what we're going to be selling this spring is going to be like off-market stuff that doesn't even hit the market. And so just while I've got you, if I ask you that question, who do you know who might have felt stuck in their houses looking to make a move? Does someone come to mind?
Yes.
And you can make that organic and make it yourself and tweak it however you want to tweak it, but it's a specific request.
Yes.
It's a blue shirt.
Yes.
Right?
You're cataloging differently when you ask that question.
And it's who do you know who, and those words are intentional.
Yes.
I'm asking for something specific and I'm asking them to run through their catalog. So
yeah, one of my favorite who do you know who's actually is, I love what you're putting in their brain is you are going to work. It's not solicitative. One of my favorite approaches is if you do really have buyers that you're working to create more opportunity or options for, honestly calling through and say, hey, I have some buyers that are just really having a hard time finding what they're looking for. I've got a buyer that's looking for this, and another buyer that's looking for, who do you know who might have something like that, who's even thinking about making a move that I can maybe connect with? That is not a hard ask. I don't feel icky like making that call at all. And I'm working really hard for my buyers, and I am opening up different, again, file cabinets in their brain when it gets specific to asking for something.
Yeah. Obviously always honestly, but leveraging.
Yes.
You didn't need to have a buyer yourself. We have buyers looking for certain things right now.
Yeah.
There are areas of inventory that are still
lacking.
depressed
Yes.
or high opportunity. Hey, so we've got buyers looking for XYZ. Who do you know that might have a property that fits that description that potentially in the next 2 to 3 years would be open to making a move that would be interested in a great offer? The interesting thing about this approach is, one, you just got to rewire your brain, right? You got to recognize that from a consumer's, because we don't want to piss people off, or we don't want to sell to our friends.
Yes.
But your friends like you, they also think, well, they'd like to believe that you're a professional. And, you've got a friend that's an insurance agent. You've got a friend that's a whatever. All your friends do different things. When you picture them, you know that they're your buddy that drinks beer with you.
This is what they do.
You also imagine that somewhere there's a thing that they do really well, right?
Yes.
You hope.
Yeah.
Or you need better friends.
Yeah.
So when I get a call from my friend and they're not saying, hey, would you buy something from me?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
They're like, hey, I've got clients that have a problem. And I want to know, well, I do know that people like you know people out there that have the solution. Almost certainly you do. And so I'm just reaching out to my peeps to see if any of them have a solution for my people's problems. There is absolutely nothing about that when framed correctly that your friends don't go, whoa, well done.
Interesting.
Dude. Like,
let me think.
You're on it. You're in your professional space. I'm proud of you. This is cool.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do.
Yes.
That's point number one.
Yeah.
Point number two that I think is so critical in our reframing of this in our brains, that's the reframe part. This is the numbers part. If you call 10 people and ask them if they know someone thinking of making a move, mathematically, 1 in 10, the answer is them.
Yeah.
But you didn't call them and solicit them.
Yeah.
You asked if they knew someone that could solve a problem. And 1 in 10, mathematically, just because that's the current rate of turnover of people in homes, 1 of 10, the answer is them. They're
going to say, well, you know what? By the way, that actually
and
might
the
be
truth
me.
Is, it's more than 1 in 10 because if they move every 10 years, they're thinking about it for 2 or 3 years before
that.
So that takes us down to 1 in 3 of these people are like, well, funny you should say that. Because actually, Jen and I, man, we're constantly looking at Zillow, thinking about making a move, but we're just waiting for the kids to be at a point where they're out of the house. And everyone's got a story like that.
Sounds like my answer.
Yeah. So guys, I think I just want to encourage you. We're afraid to solicit, and we should be. Don't be
that
sucking
person.
sound.
Yeah.
Don't call and ask for sales. But you must learn to reframe the capacity to engage your database, not just in the here's some value, here's a client party, here's this. There is a professional and appropriate context that you can create to reach out to your people and put on your business hat for 3 to 5 minutes and see if you can, if they can solve your problem. And then always offer to be of any service to them that you can.
Absolutely.
Reframe it, make the calls. This is about getting in the path of business. And it all starts with the fact that the people you know currently know people that want to make a move.
Yes.
And your job, if you're smart about this, is to figure out how you can organically and relationally get in the path of business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have no problem picking up the phone and having that conversation is not scary for me, rewiring my brain, but I still would rather do it over coffee. So I'd rather go have a conversation with my people over coffee, and that's how I'm going to connect and maybe do some of those things too. You can have conversations either of those ways, but still having the conversation is the important piece.
Well, I want to play with that a little bit. I love that you say that. Can I publicly say,
okay,
I think that's the wrong approach?
Okay.
I think that you can do coffees, and coffees are great. And can you have this conversation over coffee? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think coffees are there to build relationship, to deepen relationship, and there's a place for that. How many coffees can you do a week?
2 or 3. Realistic, probably most. Normal. Yeah, yeah.
And so I think that serves a very particular purpose.
Yeah.
It's to deepen relationships and provide LRC, directly consult and grow the connection. I think when there's a spring market coming and you've got buyers that have a need, or you've got who do you know who's, I don't think coffee is the right vehicle for that. I think and the only reason I'm saying this is I think there are people that are going to use this as a crutch to say, well, I'll just do the coffee thing.
Yeah.
Guys, pick up the
call's
phone,
not hard on this
make 5 calls a day, work through your database. It's massive action. Are you willing to take massive action? This is the quick, direct, professional, put your cowboy boots on version of engaging and having a professional conversation. It doesn't need the fluff. It doesn't need the coffee. And it doesn't need 40 minutes of talking about your kids. Yeah. It's just it's time for me to put my business hat on. Cool. Yeah. And I think your people will actually respond positively to it.
Yeah. Especially I think the who do you know who framework is meant to be something more quick, right? It's not supposed to be a long drawn out. It is supposed to be a kind of a pretty quick situation. But oftentimes, if you are already connecting with people relationally over coffee, some of that real estate inevitably comes up, right? So I think like that there's a way to frame that in those contexts as well. But no, I'm not afraid to make that call. Don't be afraid. Don't use it as a crutch. But where I do think that you can have some really awesome providing of value to your people, building those relationships, showing your professional competency is in kind of this last category of really thoughtful pricing strategy conversation. So if this is somebody that you do know, I mean, maybe you made that call and they're like, you know what, actually, that is me. I am the person who was stuck and didn't know how to buy and sell at the same time. There's another layer of dialogues here that we're kind of creating to maybe connect with them more one-on-one to really dig into that value providing of having that conversation of how to buy and sell at the same time. So that's kind of the last layer here is more the in-depth of actual pricing strategy conversations.
Now, that's not points related. That's just once we're engaging, how we're having prudent conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which hopefully lead to listing consultations.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the point.
And for those of us that like contests, hopefully leads to signed listing
contracts. Yeah, that last category. Yeah.
So is that something you want to elaborate on, those conversations?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I mean, so there are some, I mean, again, we have worked really hard just to create some great dialogues for you. Obviously, every time you have these conversations, they're not going to look exactly the same, but just to get you thinking and started. But the 3 categories of pricing or strategy conversations that we kind of created for you and go with what you want is that you have people that maybe you know that are rate locked. So providing some insight into some rate lock solutions that may be coming. Another category of, hey, I'm just checking in with my people and letting them know how much maybe their home is worth at this point. And then a category of the buy sell. Like there are a lot of people who weren't selling because they were afraid of buying. And most sellers are buyers. So I don't know if there's one of those that you do want to dig into or just thoughts on those.
Just one thought on the rate lock thing that popped in my mind.
Yeah.
I think, how do I say this right? When you name a monster, it becomes just a little less scary.
Yeah, call it out.
It's super scary when it's hiding. I think that we talk about being rate locked because we're in the industry. But there's people Bob and Sally that live in a house, that bought a house, that have a 3% rate, that have wanted to move. And I think they don't know that this is a systemic problem that we're dealing with across the industry that has a name.
Yeah.
When we say to them, hey, one of the things that we're seeing a lot with people is that they are in a house and because this is like the social proof element where it's like, wait, that's my story too.
That's me.
They're in a house. They actually want to move, but what they feel is they're stuck because of their rate. And here's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of them reach a point where the need to make the move is starting to overwhelm
the numbers.
The number. And what we're seeing people do is recognize that at 5% the differential isn't as large as they thought, one, and two, that they're gaining more confidence that there's future refi opportunities, perhaps on the downside.
And I think they are sitting on maybe a bigger potential down payment than they think that they have too, to really help get all of
the
that.
amount of equity in people's properties right down is large, which is helping them make that move. And by the way, none of that is a sales script. That is what we're seeing.
It's reality.
And so I think the psychology of discussing the reality of the marketplace with people is naming a monster that they don't know actually is a force that's going on in the marketplace. And I think other people choosing to transact through that is a helpful thing for everyone to understand that we're actually starting to see that occur right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say bring those things into the light and just have organic consultative conversations with people. And here's the other good news. If they don't want to move yet, so what?
You're providing excellent expert advice. You're advising them. You're
100%.
being their realtor.
So one, you're going to be in the business 2 years from now when they are ready to move.
Yes.
And they're going to value the value provision.
Yes.
Two, they're that much more likely to refer people to you because of the value that you just provided.
How insightful that conversation was. They didn't know that, and now they're having more conversations with other people. And 100%.
I think playing the long game on this is super key, and understanding that you get paid to sell houses and you'll sell them along the way. But what your real value is providing LRC, leadership, relationship, creativity, providing direct consultation, guidance, and insight to people when they're not necessarily selling. And that is what secures the fact that when they're ready to sell, it'll be you.
Yes.
And when they bump into someone thinking of buying or selling,
which they will,
you're the person they'll refer them to.
Absolutely.
So engage in the dialogues.
Yeah. And I mean, I will close that with all of this. Yeah. Don't forget to also ask for referrals. Like, and remind people that you are open to that. So I'm excited for all of these things. I love the intention behind the thought process of getting in front of more people to get more listings. 4 weeks kicking off February 16th all the way through March 15th. All of your templates and resources can be found in the Forge. There's also the fun point of winning prizes. So there's 3 different ways to win prizes. Go check that out. We're excited for all of you to jump in. Thanks for being here with me.
Go get listings.
Thanks for joining us today. To learn more about how to build a profitable, sustainable, and enjoyable business, go to morethanmorepodcast.com.